artist. He goes 10 rounds in his comeback fight against Manuel Jaimes, and from our vantage point, despite the marks under his eye.
What I want to know is, how did Rolando Romero get those marks?
He got hit.
And
I'm just kidding. Come on.
Yeah.
So, what is the allure of Rolly? You know, like, what was it really? Okay, yeah, he's got good mic skills for the most part, but inside the ring, he's pretty mediocre. Don't get me wrong. He was tagging Tank Davis up a little bit. I was impressed with a little bit of his performance until he got the shit knocked out of him. But as we look at his resume here, he goes the distance, opening the Canelo versus Berlanga $90 pay-per-view in Vegas against Manuel Jaimes. 15-2 with 13 KOs. 16-1-1 with 11 KOs. But as you can see, mostly a 130 pounder throughout his career. Been at 135 or so, let's say, since 2021. And now he fought Rolly at a catch weight. I think the catch weight was about 141 or so, because Rolly weighed in at 140.8. So the thing is, like, where do you go next with Rolly? Because he's already shown that he's not really top level. Let's listen to the cards. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
After 10 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement with a unanimous decision. All three judges scored about the same, 99-91. All three in favor of the winner, Rolando Romero.
Rolly Romero improves to 10-1 in his hometown of Las Vegas, going the...
So we're going to wait to hear the post-fight interview from Rolly and to basically see what's next. So he's competing at 140. Okay. The 140 division is a little bit all over the place. I mean, don't get me wrong. Rolly's not in boring fights. It's just that, you know, I guess the best way to say it is he's an overachiever. But looking at 140, it's all over the place. And I'm going to try to break it down the best I can. And is Rolly going to get a post-fight interview? Like, what's going on? Anyway, Teofimo Lopez is the WBO champion after beating Josh Taylor. But Teofimo Lopez has been flirting with 147 pounds. He was in talks to fight Brian Norman. Brian Norman was also in talks to fight Boots Ennis. But let's keep it on 140. Teofimo didn't want to fight Brian Norman for whatever reason, but he's calling out Tank Davis. Tank Davis is rumored to be returning this November. Was it November or December? Likely December, with David Benavidez on the undercard, a co-feature against Rayo Valenzuela, who beat, you know, some can say an upset. I really don't think it's an upset. He beat what movie is this? Look, I don't actually see this there. Well, Isaac Cruz. Alberto Puello, I'm guessing he's the full champion because Devin Haney is a champion in recess, but Devin Haney is in some talks to fight Liam Paro. Richardson Hitchens is supposed to be fighting Gustavo Lemos. Hitchens is the IBF mandatory. Jack Catterall, Enriquez Prograis fighting soon. And as you can see, it's all over the place. But here's the thing. What do you go with Rolly? Rolly versus Gary Antuanne Russell. Gary Antuanne Russell, despite him losing his last fight, he would push Rolly shit in. By the way, Jose Ramirez is taking on Arnold Barboza. That's supposed to be on the card. Isn't it supposed to be on the card with Chris Billum-Smith and Zurdo Ramirez? Well, either way, that fight's happening. And we're waiting to see what's going on with this undercard, by the way, coming up on October the 19th. We haven't heard anything about who's going to be on that undercard. But anyway, keeping it at 140, who does Rolly fight next? Do you think they're going to continue to try to build him up and maybe keep him fighting like in this low, like in this like bottom, you know, of the top 15-ish? Because once you start, you know, like looking around and you think about who's in the stable, the only fight that makes sense is Gary Antuanne Russell. You know, Bakhtir Akhmedov, maybe Michelle Rivera. You know, he's circulating around. And let's see who else. Who would move from 135 possibly? That's in the PBC stable. You think that Frank Martin would move up? We could see Rolly versus Frank Martin. You think something like that? Because Frank Martin's got to return soon. And remember, I'm only talking about fighters that are in the PBC stable. You know that's possible. By the way, Tank is also being rumored, if I didn't say, to Rayo Valenzuela or Edwin De Los Santos. Like, so kind of weird. So, shout out to Rolly, I guess. I wasn't really going to give him no stripes for that win. But nonetheless, it is what it is. Now we're on to Caleb Plant versus Trevor McCumby. So let's talk about the card so far as it stands. You can check out the video here for the videos on the channel. I'm going to be covering the entire card, and I'm covering UFC at the same time. And also, here, let me pull this up now. I have a secondary channel called TstreeT Uncut, and that's where my live streams are going to be. And I'm going to put clips here on the main channel. So here's my TstreeT Uncut channel. It's my secondary channel right here. And the link is down below in the description box. So all you got to do is hit show more, right down, scroll down on the video. And this is the channel where I'm going to be doing all of my live streams. So if you can go over to this channel and subscribe, that would be great. By the way, Edgar Berlanga with a dime piece showing up. Puerto Rican. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm TstreeT Controversy with 5 360.